everyone on this absolutely fine Thursday morning. If you can hear that at home, that is because we are live here in Hamburg, Germany from Barclays Arena. The crowd is already gathering. I'm going to be your host, Nat Teef, in the morning, and sitting beside me is none other than the very handsome Jenkins.
Thank you.
That's a compliment.
Well, this is an incredible crowd, by the way, for a Thursday morning. Like, this is an insane amount of people. Everybody's super hyped. Slacks walked out on the stage. Everybody's like, yeah, Slacks!
Let's go.
Like, what a great crowd.
Well, I still got to introduce the rest of my panel here. We've got Mr. Winter all the way from SEA.
Hello, Nat. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Mr. Stipage. Always nice to see you.
Same here. Always good to be here. This is my 8th TI, and it always feels like it's the first one. I always get way too excited, and good to see the crowd. Good to see that there's so many people already in the arena.
Can you introduce him? You didn't introduce him. You gotta wait for the introduction.
I don't need no introduction.
It's 8th TI. He needs no introduction at this point. But it's such a pleasure to see you guys, of course, here out on the stage. Have you had a chance at all to talk to some fans to get out there to see more of the arena?
I mean, I've been busy with this guy.
He's a handful, right?
I have. I saw a guy biking to work yesterday.
That's
he's
not
out
the arena.
He's out in the crowd somewhere. Yo, shout
sure
if you were the guy.
Yeah, unfortunately,
He's out
they're
there.
not
He's,
there.
it's just there's one guy, so it's very
There was
quiet.
that one guy. We know two guys, though, that love to catch up with our fans, get all of the inside scoop before we do kick off the International, and that's Slacks and Tsunami.
Yes, right, everybody. We are outside right before the doors open here on day one, Barclays Arena, 8 a.m. Tsunami, and the people are awake.
Are they, though? Are you guys awake? Ready to start the day?
Damn, it was
Bright and early.
somebody way in the back who didn't even hear what you said and went, woo! Good for that guy. All right, I'm going to interview the freaks at the front of the line. You go down. Let's see if we can get some info. Gentlemen, the first men in line, how are we doing today? What prompted you to get up here today?
Well, I had to get up at 5:45.
5:45.
Yeah, and then we didn't breakfast. Just got here on the way. We grabbed something, and
Are you with these guys?
it's my brother, and these are friends.
Yes, First also here. He's always here.
All right, you guys all Dota players, or are you in the same squad? What's the deal?
It's really awesome.
At 5. Kind of disappointed.
I'm so sorry. I really thought that was going to go a different way. Do you know these guys?
Yeah, we all came together. We're from Berlin. Like, we have a pub stomp group there. I'm from the US.
He tried to hide that, so that was a good effort from you. We're all from Berlin. Don't talk to the guy. It's all good. All right, sir, you excited to get in there?
Very excited.
All right.
I'm sad I'm second though. We've been in the same group.
Well, technically, you're like 8th, so it's not that bad.
Still more bad.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Tsunami, did you find someone?
I did.
Okay.
So this is a massive pub stomp group, and you've been to quite a few events with this, like, what, 30-person group now?
Yeah, I think the group itself is it's even bigger, but like here we are 30 people just to come to watch it live. So.
And you guys are German locals, so I need some German language tips on how I can hype up like a Dota crowd. Because I remember I did the Berlin major, and I was told it's something like, "Was geht Berlin?" It was something like that.
Yeah, that's really good. That's already a good one. Like Was geht Hamburg always works. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know, you want them to cheer and like be excited?
Yeah, like, so let's say, what would I say to these guys if they're saying, like, are you ready for TI? Are you ready for some Dota?
Seid ihr bereit?
Seid ihr bereit?
Bereit, ja.
Bereit?
Seid ihr bereit?
Let's test it. Let's see how many. Hey, how many Germans are in the crowd? Das be bereit? I don't think I got it. I tried. But then you're ready for your first ever international now?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
And you've got a little gift, I say.
I made you bracelets, like with the theme and everything. It says TI14.
Amazing. Just a small sample. We got to get you into the secret shop next time. But thank you very much. Enjoy the show. And I believe Slacks is down there.
Hey!
What do you want?
I found Tori! All right, you think you got a good bracelet? Tori said she made bracelets too. Give me that bracelet, Tori. Look at that, baby. That's gold. How's your bracelet? Oh, green.
That's pretty good.
Green. Tori's the queen of bracelets. No competition from Tori. Thank you so much, Tori. You excited?
Yes.
Yeah, she said, please don't put me on camera. Please, please, please. What's your name?
Arvin.
All right, you here with Tori?
Yes.
All right, why are you guys here?
To watch TI.
Yeah, who's going to win?
Falcons.
Falcons is going to win, the Falcon fan. How could they possibly beat Extreme Gaming, sir?
Because they have ATF.
Okay, the toxicity runs well. Thank you so much. Tori, very non-toxic. Give him the bracelet. Where'd he go? Oh, he's found another one. All right, Tsunami has another victim. Tsunami, who do you got?
I've got a purple-haired person.
Oh, she's wearing a liquid jersey. Everybody point and laugh. Sorry, just kidding.
You know there's a hair dye meta at TI. You've seen it over the years, right?
I'm pretty sure they're following the other meta though.
Slacks, I found your people as well.
Hey, the boys! What's up, my bald brothers?
Who else we got? The line goes further.
I got one more over here. We've got a man ready to represent the heroic boys. We got the sign. We're out here. How you doing, boss?
I'm doing okay. And you?
I'm doing very good. Look at this. You even got their level 30s on there. Oh, my God. We got the meme Meepo right there. Fantastic. How do you think they will fare? Are you going to be cheering them through?
I think they are going to do like really good at this today, and then going to win the TI for South America.
Okay. Any other SA fans out here? We got
another one.
Talk to that person over there. Yeah, she's very excited. All right. Yeah! Well, I sure hope you two are sitting next to each other for that one. But thank you so much, my friend. And with that, we have talked to many of the fans. Fans, can we get one more time for everybody at home what idiots they are for not coming? Let's hear it. Are you guys ready today? Oh, they're set. They're ready. Thank you very much, my friends. And we'll shoot it over to you guys. Back to the show.
Slacks and Tsunami always doing a great job of finding out all of our most dedicated fans that are out there. But everyone here showing up on a Thursday morning is just as dedicated, wants to watch all the Dota actions. Have you guys run into any other fans out there?
We were busy doing prep.
Okay, I wasn't. I ran into Tori, and she gave me my own friendship bracelet, by the way. Can I just give her another shout out? She was at TI last year as well, giving a bunch of them out. So big shout out to Tori. She's a massive fan, putting in a lot of dedication there. For you guys, though, seeing some underdogs being cheered for that heroic, making it to the top 8 and having some fans, getting some artwork out there, some signs. I can hear some of the cheers too.
Everyone wants to see Meepo.
That's what it is, you reckon?
I think people want to see Pudge. This is the only team willing to pick this guy.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Imagine if he predicted that Heroic's going to win TI with 5 heroes that he actually drew on that sign. That would be pretty amazing.
That guy's the Oracle, the true Oracle.
Yeah, no one was Oracle enough, though, to be able to predict the road to the International. We're going to have exactly what the Swiss bracket looked like a couple of days ago, all right? I know not everyone might have been watching, but you should have been, because there were a lot of upsets, a lot of game 3s, and a lot of 60-plus minute games. Anything that stands out for you, Jenkins, when you do reminisce back 3 days ago?
I mean, this just genuinely has been like the least predictable TI that has ever happened. The games have been absolutely incredible. We've seen a ton of like 60-plus minute games. You know, previous TI winners are out. Like, everybody is saying, and I 100% agree, that no matter who wins this year out of the top 8 that we have, like, it's going to be some Cinderella story, right?
Yeah, also the fact that Chinese Dota, are they back? You know, that's a really, really big question, you know, after the road to the International.
Yeah, they had 2 out of their 3 participating teams qualify to the International, make it to this top 8, and they were 2 out of 3 of the first teams to make it, right? We had Extreme Gaming go undefeated, Lacoste, Tidebound. They lost to Extreme and then ended up qualifying just the day after.
Yeah, they had a pretty rough year last time. TI 2024 was the first TI with 0 teams, Chinese teams in the top 4, and now they already have 2 in the top 8. Chinese Dota is definitely back.
China is in an interesting spot because yes, they don't always make it to the grand finals, but in the last 26 tournaments, in the 5 grand finals they did make it to, they've won 4 out of 5 of them. So like
They just need to get there.
If they can get there, like when China is dominant, it's really dominant. So I don't know, it might be their year. We'll see.
Yeah, it could also be a patch thing. I think this patch currently really favors their playstyle, where a lot of heavy team fighting, Chinese teams have always put a lot of priority in that. So maybe this is their time,
Yeah. Would you say then that Extreme Gaming are your favorites to win Winter, this TI?
Yeah, probably. I think they have a very favorable playstyle towards the patch, and they're doing really well. They boot camped in Europe for a month, approximately. I think that actually helped them a lot, because in SCA and in China region, it's really difficult to find scrims. It's hard for you to figure out the meta. I think being here itself helped them a lot in the past month.
Yeah, the fact that they're doing that whole month lead up, because like course there's been conversations on what is too much that you kind of feel yourself burn out in a way that you're almost over preparing, but then you have to find that line that you're not coming in underprepared either.
Yeah, you got to find that right balance, I would say, but it is also the reason why we are having such good games, where we're seeing such 60-minute games. We're seeing some of the new stuff coming out as well, is that we did hide the information from the public what these teams are going to be playing. So there's a lot of new innovation, a lot of new stuff coming out, which I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, is there a specific team for you that has more of that innovation and therefore could potentially go further?
I would say Enigma Galaxy. This is the team that I think a lot of got surprised with being in the top 8. They started pretty strong against the BB team and then losing 3 in a row. But this is a team that will get your heart pumped because they had played another series after that. They played another series after that, eliminating Navi, eliminating Aurora as well. And this is the team that has a lot of hidden strat. They're the only team that are willing to play heroes like Lone Druid. They're so far undefeated, 2-0. And this is why Ghost is such a scary player. I like what he's been doing with some of these hero picks, but this is one of the plays that he did. I guess that's why he's called Ghost out of the invis. The bear attacks him, even forcing Miero to use a refresher, and he manages to get the kill. I love to see the gelling between the team. I feel like Enigma Galaxy right now are extremely hungry to win this whole TI.
Yeah, I think winning 2 elimination series as well, and whilst they went quite long, it felt like the games that they did win were just very dominating, and that Lone Druid pick being somewhat of a specialty for them too, no one else picking it up. But Jenkins, I haven't heard from you exactly which team is going to win in your eyes.
So I was spending a lot of time during the group stage watching player perspectives. Right? I was trying to get into like, how does, Satanic, for example, like how does he farm? How is he always top of net worth? And I saw a little kill that to me really represented like a champion mindset from this kid, because my question was like, in front of a crowd, can he perform? So there was a kill that I watched where he killed GPK solo, completely solo. And like the way that you have to think about this, the way that I would think about this is, imagine you're Satanic, right? For your entire life of playing Dota, GPK has been good. Like this guy is the Eastern European mid that even when his team is not good, he is still good in carrying his team. Like that name bears a lot of weight in that region. And in that clip, Satanic uses his BKB at the last frame before the enchant totem hits the ground. And he had a Kaya and Yasha, right? So it's not like there's some amount of time, like there's 25% less time in the cast time there. He's like calculating that. He has the instincts for that. Like this is insane to me. Like to kill a core in Dota is very difficult. To kill a core at TI in Dota is even more difficult solo. To kill GPK of all people, this is insane to me.
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see. That question still pertains, right? Because there's only a handful of times we've seen people come into their very first TI and win it. So
there's some notable names there, yeah.
Sure.
You got the Thompsons of the world. We'll see with him. Because I do think that the team around him is playing really well. They're actually doing a lot of things that Extreme Gaming are doing when it comes to team fighting, where they take very interesting fights. I remember seeing one clip where P-Vision, they were like 3v5 at the Roche pit. I saw no one epicenter, BKB, jump into the Roche pit, instantly TP out. And it's one of those things that as a Dota player, like, what is he doing? Why would you BKB TP? Boom, 9 class steals the Aegis. They trade 1 for 1. They don't lose the game because they got the Aegis in this play. And it's like, somebody made this call to take a fight, but not really take the fight, right? It's something which is like, if you're a more skilled Dota player, it's kind of complicated to do. It's not just committing or not committing. It's like some gray area in between. So in terms of fighting, I think P-Vision is exceptional as well. They're on the level of extreme gaming right now.
I feel like you're really selling, the plays there for them, the story around them. But I do think that it is fair for people to have those questions. It's first times. You're going to be first times out on this stage as well for a lot of those players. 3 of them, in fact. But there's players that are veterans here. There's players that have won before. We're going to have a look at exactly who are still multiple TI winner hopefuls for us after having such a cutthroat road to the International. We say goodbye to 8 teams and also a lot of 2-time hopefuls. So right now, Tidebound, Tundra, Nigma Galaxy, and Falcons, they're the only team that have potential 2-timers, Lacoste.
Yeah, this is very interesting. You can see, the old Tundra squad as well, Skeeter, Snaking, and Saxa being on the same team. You see the combination between Team Liquid, the EG with the Sumail. The King is back. The uncrowned King is back as well. Ame, he wants the crown. But yeah, also the Chinese players as well. I'd say they've been very hungry. Last time they won TI was TI6. OG kind of had to ruin it because we had West, then we had Chinese team winning. OG, we were too good at the time, kind of ruined the perfect sequence that we did have. But yeah, I could definitely see somebody being crowned again as a TI champion.
Yeah, well, there is still one person as well that could potentially be our very first 3-time TI winner. That's, of course, 33. He's still left in the tournament. All of our other potential 3-peats were unfortunately eliminated when we had to say goodbye to both Aurora and Spirit there.
Yeah, hope the stars align for him. I can't wait to ask if he's going to change his nickname to 333.
I love
you think you should add another one?
I love that this is just Spirit and 33. Like, essentially, this is the 2-time Spirit. It's so funny.
No, it is. It's a lot of fun to look at it when you see it there. And it was really sad to have to say goodbye to the potential of getting more competition of the repeats, right? It was nice to see such a full graphic of those 3-timers that could have been, but they weren't playing up to par. Lacoste, we had to say goodbye to them, which I think it's a mix of fan favorites, but also kind of player favorites. Everyone thought Spirit were coming in really strong. And
yeah, I think we had like 70% of the people predicting that Team Spirit is going to be winning TI. And guess what? You people were wrong. So were I, because they looked way too good coming into TI. This is the squad that we talked about being one of the most resilient teams in the world when they're trying to close out the game against Team Spirit. But something just didn't click. I didn't feel them being as hungry. And some small mistakes were definitely made. But I'm sure this team will bounce back.
Yeah, they like lost their last 6 matches in a row or something before getting
not what happens usually.
No,
it's really surprising because the patch kind of feels like it's going to favor their kind of play style. They are very similar to Extreme Gaming, where they play for the late game. They're really good in team fights, and not doing well here is really very, very hard to take, if you're a Team Spirit fan.
To be fair, not to make excuses for, the previous TI winners, but like Spirit and Liquid, the way that they got eliminated in their series, like the first game, both games went over 60 minutes. And I understand that's happening a lot these days, but like the games are very close. I think the level of competition has just never been higher in this game.
I would agree with that, but also the way that the format played out too just led into we had to say goodbye to some of those teams. It was kind of inevitable. We've only got a top 8 here performing at the International, so we were going to have to say goodbye, of course, to 8 teams. And you've talked about, Winter, whether you thought this patch was going to favor them, but I want to see what heroes have been favored this patch, right? We want to see who's the most successful, who's been played the most, because that's something other teams are going to be looking at. They've had a couple of days now to really reflect on the road to the International. That was such an intense 4 days for them. Now they get those 3 days break. And for our most picked heroes, it's really heavily support leaning here with the Disruptor, Bane, Pugner, and Snapfire.
I mean, the heroes here have one thing in common where they have catch and they're really good at the team fights, So basically what's happening right now is you have to play the map. Maybe you don't have a good start, but you're still going to be farming on the corners of the map. So it requires you to have heroes that can catch the enemy heroes because you can't take a direct team fight. But when you are strong enough, the heroes that can take a direct team fight is obviously also going to be very, very preferred because team fights are very, very important, especially around the objectives, Tormentor, the Wisdom Shrine, everything, So team fight is, I think, the name of the game other than Helm.
Yeah, these are all lane bullies, pretty much, all these supports. Disruptor, Pugna, Bane, Snapfire. And all 3 of those heroes have been picked, you know how many times? 33. I think this is a sign.
It's his year.
It might be the sign.
I love like how into numerology Lacoste is. He's like, I'm just going to, all the numbers, they just seem to meld together.
This is the astrological
Yeah,
TI.
Mercury is in retrograde.
It is
right
definitely
now,
in retrograde, yeah.
What star sign are you, Lacoste?
I don't even know.
Let's have a look at our most successful heroes, though. Let's get back on track. Let's keep talking about something we all know and we all want to hear more about. And this is a little bit different, right? Our most picked were the supports favoring, but for our most successful, with over 10 games so far here in the international, road to international, is favoring the cause with a question mark because of that alchemist.
Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room here, guys.
That Shadow Fiend is so broken.
No, everybody's
The
thinking
other
it
one.
when they see it. This 9-class alchemist. I was trying to figure this out. It looked so complicated the way that P-Vision was playing it. Like, this is something that just does not work in pubs, because every time 9-class would like clean up some farm somewhere, some core on P-Vision would go and basically like act as a support somewhere else. Like they had, and it was never the same core. Like you couldn't duo queue with a buddy and have them kind of like act as a core that's supporting. It was like whatever core it was convenient for. They were like weaving in and out of like, okay, 9-class, you can have my farm.
I mean, imagine being DM, in this sort of game, it's...
But the thing is,
it works.
It wasn't just DM. It was okay, DM in the landing phase. Don't get me wrong. That guy gets grief, bro. But it was the other cores outside of the landing phase. Like, it just looked like such a complex strategy to play against, which is why I understand why teams are just straight up banning it. They're like, we don't want to play against a team that does this. It's just so weird.
You're a P-Vision enjoyer, though, so I want to hear from Lacoste and Winter as well what they feel about it, right? Because you think they're going the way, Jenkins. So you're like, you're going to hype it up. It's done well, but I want to know if you guys are split, if it's the same as the win rate, if you're 50-50 on this hero.
Well, I think the thing with the ALC as a support is you have to kind of help the support get a good game. So you need to pick an offlaner that enables your support, and usually it's the other way around. You pick a support to enable your core. But in this instance, you kind of have to adjust that, and like Andrew mentioned, DM is kind of already used to it at this point. I have to play for my support. He's the core, I'm the support for the first 10 minutes. And it works out for them, and especially because of the lack of information, you don't get to see what your opponents are practicing right now. So I think this actually helps them a lot in developing all this new tech, so to speak.
They've been called out to be playing dishonest Dota throughout the years, ever since 9-class started to kind of this trend where he's playing this position for Slark, something that he's on completely opposite side of the map, going for the careers, just not playing Dota, playing for Vision, being very annoying, forcing any kind of rotation from the enemy team. He shows on the map for a brief second to try to force a rotation, and then he goes away. Like, this is very difficult to deal with, especially in this current meta where we have Helm of the Dominator being the core item, so he's also building into that item, and also being able to cut the waves and just be even more annoying than he was before.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think there is honest Dota anymore. I don't think this exists. Since the Facets patch, like when we looked at the most picked heroes, like just consider Snapfire for a second, right? That hero used to be kind of honest. Now you're getting a talent where you get 2 cookies, you're going for the Aghanim Shard, and you're one-shotting creep waves. It's like there are all of these gimmicks. People are eating the Helm Dom creep and then throwing it in with the Gobble Up. It's like, this
also, the range on Gobble Up is insane, too. That also doesn't feel like honest Dota.
This is not honest.
I mean, Snapfire has got to be one of the more honest ones in the current
Out of those heroes, Bane is sleepwalking heroes into towers. Like, we play a very complicated game.
Yeah, but nothing is dishonest if everything is dishonest,
That's the Dota mentality. That is absolutely true.
It definitely does ring true with it. And so that's the shaping up right now of the heroes we're most likely going to be seeing, whether that's being picked, whether that's going to be banned. But we want to see exactly where our teams are now lined up, that we have our top 8. We are, of course, going to have everyone starting off in this upper bracket. It feels like after such a grueling 4 days of the road to the international, it is only fair, Lacoste, right? These matchups are so close. You're going to have all 8 teams up there. And then, of course, we can talk about our schedule when exactly they're going to be playing. But is there a matchup that you think isn't so easy to predict if you were in your Dota client and trying to look in your predictions right now?
I think there's a lot of them. I would say Tidebound against Falcons is going to be a very close one. China is definitely on the rise, and Falcons also playing pretty much their own style of Dota. They're really not building into that Helm of the Dominator the way they did eliminate Team Spirit as well. Didn't buy a single Helm of the Dom in that game, in both of these games as well, but they looked very dominant. We talked about the meta being, some of the longer games as well. This is where Team Falcons really shines.
Would you say that Falcons is an honest team?
No.
In this tournament, would you say that they're an honest team?
No.
They just play their own dishonest Dota.
Exactly.
Well, that was our schedule there. Our day is closing off with BB up against Nigma Galaxy. We got that Tidebound Falcon series you guys talked about. Of course, second is going to be P-Vision up against Heroic. And to start us off, it is going to be Extreme Gaming up against Tundra. All of the games, in my eyes, are a must-watch, a tune-in. But for you, Jenkins?
I mean, I gotta go P-Vision Heroic.
Yeah, I knew you were.
But the thing is, because also, you know, on the other side, you have Heroic, which I think has surprised a lot of people. Like, they are playing this chaotic, fundamentally South American Dota. Like, it's so good to see it back. Like, Schofield and Whisper are playing Pudge Clockwork offlane. Like, this is some griefing stuff that your friends are playing in unranked, where it's like, we're not going to win anyway. You know, we're going to play Pudge Clockwork.
Yeah, I mean, they're also Heroic side. They're on an 8-game win streak so far as well. So there's those things that you have to think about that's coming into that series.
Oh, they got momentum for sure.
100%. Of course, those heroes that you mentioned there for P-Vision, but that's not the one that we're going to be starting on. It's going to be Extreme Gaming up against Tundra, and so I think it's only fair that before we get into TI, before we get into all those nitty-gritties, we talk about them, just exactly how we can expect this to go, because Tundra having a stand-in in that position 5, Whitemon not here with them, Toby instead, and Extreme Gaming being our 4-0 team, undefeated.
Yeah, Tundra kind of lost the formula. The formula is 4 players plus 1 SEA player.
I wanted to ask about that as the Southeast Asian expert, of course. I feel like Whitemon is potentially the best position 5 in the world. I think a lot of people have held this opinion. If there's one person that you are going to replace him with, I feel like Toby has been the stand-in of the year. He has proven that he is a genuinely very good position 5. People ask, well, why is he not on a team? It's because he's switching to position 5 this year, right? He's learning, but he's learning at a crazy pace, and I feel like he's having a lot of impact in these games.
Yeah, he also has a very wide hero pool right now, you know, and considering he just swapped over for about a year, it's really, really impressive, you know.
Do you feel like making that change is easy? Is making any change in Dota ever easy, really?
I think from the off lane to position 5, some of the things are kind of overlapping in terms of the item builds, because sometimes on position 5 you build like support items, like aura items to help your team. That's kind of something you do on the off lane as well. Whereas if you compare like switching from mid, say, to carry, I think would be quite different. You know, it's a lot of the things that you do don't really connect to each other.
It definitely depends on the heroes, right? And like Toby's known for like Venomancer offlane, right? Like that's a position 5. So I feel like there was enough that he could play his specialty heroes as position 5 just to start out, and then learn how to play the other heroes by first learning the role, playing his specialty heroes, and then switching into the other heroes.
Yeah, this guy has the most deaths out of any player, average number of deaths.
He went there. He went there. I was trying.
But in a good way, you know. These are tactical deaths that he's providing vision for the team. It does allow rest of the team to play extremely well. Like, you're killing position 5, but you're really not getting the value out of it because he's collecting the info where the enemies are. And I think Toby has been doing.
Position 5, doing a lot of things.
I mean, I would argue that's actually better, because now you're not doing it on a core role. So he has a least amount of negative impact on the game for your team.
Yeah. The inverse, though, when their opponents, Extreme Gaming, it just feels like they're winning these lanes. They're coming together earlier as a group, and Winter, there's no really stopping what they're trying to achieve. The number advantage almost always is in favor of Extreme Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a very, very tough team right now. I think there's like some kind of heroes that you probably have to think about when you're playing against them. But overall, it's very, very difficult to play against them in a game, because they're just so good at the team fights and outmaneuvering you on the map.
Yep, and I think it's worth mentioning, we're talking about position 5s. Xnova has the world record for D wards over all TIs. Like, this guy.
Which TI was that?
All TIs.
Oh, right, so like.
He has the world record.
I see.
He's the record holder. So if you're talking in terms of dewarding, like, this guy's the best support in the world for it. Vision game, he will win.
Okay. We can hear a little bit better of a countdown going on. Yeah, it's a loud one, right? The horn, Lacoste, do you remember what the horn signifies here at TI?
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time.
It's definitely time, guys. It has been 14 years since we had an international in Germany, the very first one. Yeah, it's massive, right? We're back here in Germany again. It has been an unpredictable road to the international so far. I'm sure that journey is going to continue. There's going to be a lot more action. And whilst we've talked a lot about things that have happened and what will come, the one thing I know for certain is that it feels not official yet, that we almost need to open the new chapter on our 14th international.
Some call it fate, others destiny. A meridian that spans the course of cosmic history. Vesting all that was and all that will be. Chasing the spark of creation across the eons, into the unseen eternity beyond. course of fate's meridian is broken, when an inflection point arrives, those who see the true shape of the system might step forward to defy all forces of opposition, to inscribe their own names into the cosmic record, and decide for themselves the course of things to come. The Aegis of Champions. It shines like a beacon, daring us to meet the magnitude of the moment, to join a constellation of greatness, to reach for a horizon beyond which only dreams can see. It bears the record, reminding us of the battles we all hold sacred, the triumphs we still celebrate, the legends we will forever revere. It summons the world's finest contenders, allowing us, empowering us, to honor the giants of the past, to realize the magic of the present, to witness the origins of the epic stories of tomorrow. Now we gather at the final proving ground, where the path to victory is ever-changing, but the cheers of the arena will always guide the way. The Aegis of Champions arrives in Hamburg, Germany. A beacon of challenge that shines around the globe. 8 teams compete for ultimate glory. Only one can seize immortality. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins. And now introducing the finest Dota teams in the world. Heroic! Vision! Team Tidebound! Team Falcons! BB Team! Nigma Galaxy! Tundra Esports! Extreme Gaming!
Hi, I'm Gabe Newell. 14 years ago, we held the first International in Cologne, Germany. For me, that first International was awesome. It was awesome to see the skill of the players and the enthusiasm of the community. Before that first International, I really enjoyed the game. But after the International, I loved the game. It's not just the game I love, but the community. Sure, people talk shit at me in chat, and about once a week, people say, hey, noob, uninstall the game and but that's really about their enthusiasm for the game and the energy that they bring. And that's why, after all these years, I still play Dota every day. Now we're back in Germany once more to cheer and celebrate again. Oh man, wäre das ein Spaß. To all the Dota fans who've been with us from day one, to those of you who've joined us along the way, and to any of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the International.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. Thank you so much, Gaben. Welcome to the International 2025 Hamburg!
The International started here in Germany in 2011, and in the past 14 years, we have witnessed some of the most iconic moments in esports, and along the way, inscribed 55 different names onto this Aegis. And no matter who wins here, I can guarantee that at least 3 new names are going to be added to the list.
Absolutely so. No, I mean, nobody could have predicted the teams here today. Literally, none of you guys predicted it. Scientifically proven. Not a single one of you bastards. But anyway, it should be one hell of a TI. We're talking 60-minute games, almost every game. We're going to game 3 all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is shaping up to be one of the greatest TIs of all time, baby!
And there was only one thing missing on that road, and that is you. So crowd, Barclays Arena, are you ready? Then let's get the International 14 underway.
The biggest question is my panel ready? Are the viewers at home also ready for what's about to unfold? Because now it's official. Nothing like an opening ceremony, a message from Gabe himself to really get the emotions running and the pressure on Winter.
Yeah, I mean, the players are just going to feel a lot of the heat, but at the same time, we always tell the players, just play the game, don't think about everything else. You have to block out everything and just focus on your duties in the game.
I think you could see it on a lot of their faces, honestly. Like, look at
Really?
Sumail. Sumail was locked in, dude. There's a crowd of 5,000 people here. He was not looking anywhere. He was in the zone.
He was like envisioning the Dota game in front of him.
And they went crazy for Nigma Galaxy.
Nigma Galaxy and Extreme Gaming. But I also liked the way Ame looked. He was fully focused. Like, I don't think he was just seeing that Aegis, fully focused on it. He wants to lift it.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely has to be one of the more locked-in players, right? Because even though all 8 teams are playing today, he's up first, right?
I mean, he definitely knows a thing or two going to the last day, you know. So he is definitely going to want to change the story this time.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's also why he, was locked in the way that he was. The rest of his team as well, though, also standing up there with him, Jin-Q. You can't look past Jin-Q and how cute he looked up there.
You can't. The whole team is so important. But we will talk about Ame because so much of the game is through him. I think there's an understanding of the meta that this team has that other teams in the break needed to look at to see what they're doing. In this meta, you have a lot of heroes that you just can't commit to a fight. There's Silencer, there's Dawnbreaker, there's Dazzle, there's all of these heroes where it's you jump in and they get saved, right? The way that XG takes team fights is they have that vision advantage we talked about with the X-Nova dewarding, and then boom, Ame jumps in on one of these big burst heroes, kills one hero, and then they back off. They play as a complete unit, but in order to do that, in order for them to do those back off plays, he has to be these burst heroes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see other carry players adopting the Ame heroes into their pool.
The toughest thing is you're saying the players they've had this time, they should have gone back and looked at what Extreme Gaming were doing. But the thing is, they played the least amount of series and one of the least amount of games as well, Lacoste. So where are you even beginning to look at how to break down such a dominant team?
You need to shut down Ame. In all 10 games that they did play, they last pick his hero. So this is their win condition. And one of the reasons why Jenkins was talking about that Ame has this explosive game, he's playing these explosive heroes that can go in, can shut down pretty much anyone. The burst, because we're seeing a lot of these longer fights, we're seeing a lot of these longer games as well. Extreme Gaming is a team that is a bit slower on the side. Like, they have 3 games over 60 minutes. They did play that 78-minute game against Falcons, which they did win. They did win all 3 of those games. So a bit of a slower team compared to Tundra, who is a bit of a faster team.
I think they're slow because they pick and choose their fights really well, and they always have like multiple ways to win a team fight. It's not just like one condition. It's they give themselves enough conditions that if they get the vision, if they see an opening, that they can actually take it. But that requires like an insane amount of synergy between the players on the team and trust.
I mean, on top of that, I don't really feel like it's just them being slow. I think the meta is slower as well. So it's not like they're intentionally trying to play slow. Like, the game just feels more natural when you're being more patient, taking the objectives, and you have team fight. You don't really worry so much about, oh, if I lose the lane, I don't have anywhere to go on the map, because the map is just so big right now.
I think the map is big, and also let's just like once again, there's a lot of elephants in
the room.
Yeah. Talk about. When there's like 2 Dominator creeps running around cutting creep waves, like yeah, it takes a while to push towers. There's no creeps taking the backdoor protection off. You have to kill the creep first, then get a creep wave to the tower, then push the tower. This is a 3-step process. It's not exactly easy.
I mean, it kind of incentivizes heroes that can kill off the creeps, right? You've been saying to me that that's why Nature's Prophet's good, because you can kind of TP in from anywhere and you can kill the creep, deal with the problem without moving too many heroes to one side of the map.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you TP globally, like you also mentioned it, that the heroes that can actually kill the creep are carries, and you don't want your carry wasting a very long cooldown TP scroll to go somewhere and kill the creep. So a hero like Nature's Prophet that can just do it for free on a 20-second cooldown, like, that's great. And by the way, the creep can't get a Quelling Blade. It can't get out of Sprout, so that's really nice. Another reason that Nature's Prophet is overpowered, there's not enough of those in today's day and age.
Well, look, who really knows, right? Sometimes we think something is overpowered, we let it through, we don't actually see the result we expect, and something we can expect, though, is for our series to start very soon. We've already seen our teams out on stage, but now we want to welcome them to the stage. We want to bring them out, put them in those booths, and of course, we're going to start with our very first team, Extreme Gaming.
Extreme Gaming! And we're back.
Our only undefeated team coming out of the road to the international playoffs. 4-0 series wins here. The uncrowned king leading his team to the booth. One of the longest game lengths we've seen at a TI as well. Will they change? Was the 4-day break in their favor or against it? The biggest questions are still up for grabs. And the biggest thing that I really want to know is their opponent also ready to take the stage?
Choose wisely and crush those responsible. Tundra Esports. Choose wisely and crush those responsible.
Moments away of elimination just a couple of days ago. It brings the question, what has changed for them? A massive stand-in for themselves in that position 5 with Kobe now joining this squad and the sole potential 3-time TI winner there in 33. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot these players are having to live up to, and so I have to ask my panel here just exactly where we can put our expectations and our predictions for Extreme Gaming up against Tundra.
This one is not easy. I feel like Extreme Gaming has showed that they played the best Dota so far this year, but also Tundra, they should not be underestimated. Even though they don't have, you did say that he is the best 5 in the world. Whitemon is not here, but he filled the shoes really well. Toby's playing really good Dota, and you have 33. One of the greatest, if not the greatest mind of Dota that we ever had, because this guy is going to try to break the game. We saw it during TI 2022 when they won it with Tundra, the rate back. Now we're seeing the same thing with potentially this Helm of the Dominator strat that they've been running very successfully with this BZM Invoker that they did win every single game. He builds into Helm, he builds into Drum's Alacrity, then you have another Helm from the offlane, plus potentially a pipe, and they know how to close out the games quickly.
If there's any player that I really trust when it comes to like breaking down
it's this guy.
his own team and like how strong they are in the current meta, it's 33. You know, he has said that they in the past few patches they've kind of struggled to find an identity. And they didn't perform as well as what we just saw on the screen there in their hugely dominant first year. But in this tournament, it looks like they have found an identity. They're picking SK again. They're picking Earthshaker mid. I feel like this team is really successful when they have scaling heroes, when they're able to pick scaling heroes on all of their cores. And it's because they're a bunch of specialty players, right? You have the BZM Invoker that we just talked about. They've got Crystallis on all of his level 30 Dota plus carries. Like, if they can play a meta where all of the roles can scale, then they can pick the best hero in the best position and then give that to the scaling player and then win the game through that way. So I think the meta really favors Tundra right now, and I think they know it as well.
Yeah, and if you're comparing the matchups, like XG is a little bit slower than Tundra. I think Tundra is really good at hitting specific timings with their heroes, and using the Helm of Dominator, I think they are probably going to be able to try to stop the